So the basic idea of this is chat. Feel free to wander. Feel free to curse. We run it uncut. We're not really looking for clips. I'm still hung up on Rust and Bone. Still angry at the Academy. Still don't understand what the hell happened there. I mean, are those things when that kind of moment happens, and there were a lot of accolades before that? Is it shocking? Is it something you have come to? Do you expect? Let yourself get to a point where you expect something like that to happen, and then get disappointed when it doesn't, or?
I how can I say that? No, I always thought that nothing at the Oscar would happen with Rust and Bones, and then, but people believed that it could, so I started to believe it too. And then, yeah, I was kind of disappointed, but at the same time, it was kind of a struggle because I don't want to be disappointed by not being nominated, because I'm not doing this job to be nominated, you know, or to get awards. And I want to appreciate it when it's there, and I don't want to be sad when it's not. But sometimes you just can't help it. Yeah. Like for the Dardenne Brothers movie, I really wanted to take the movie to the Oscars because, first of all, it was the first time Belgium chose one of the Dardenne Brothers movies to represent Belgium. So I had this dream to take this movie to the Oscars, and when we didn't make the short list, I was super sad. And I really didn't expect that I would take this movie to the Oscars anyway, because I really didn't expect that I would be nominated. That was something, yeah, that was a very big surprise. And this way, I mean, when it goes this way, it's something that I can enjoy.
A little better than the other way, I'd say.
Yeah, of course.
And did you immediately get a call from the brothers? Thrilled to be represented, having the movie represented in some way, or just thrilled for you, or?
Oh, I mean, yeah, of course. I talked to them right away, and they were so happy that that the movie would go to the Oscars this way.
Yeah. So it seems like, I mean, you went through many lifetimes in France. The Taxi movies got César nominations, though I'm not sure that they're didn't you get César stuff for the Taxi?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think I got nominated.
Seems like a long time ago.
No, but I think I got I think actually my first nomination was for this movie.
Yeah. But not the kind of movie that we would have necessarily would be Academy nominated here.
No.
More of a kind of a light piece in that regard. But I mean, you lived through that. You went through La Vie en Rose, which had to be kind of life-changing and made you a fixture in America. And it seems like there was a period of a few years where you were getting these kind of interesting supporting roles from interesting filmmakers, but they weren't great. They weren't the big role. They weren't the lead actress roles that in the last 3 or 4 years you've now had 3 or 4 incredible performances and incredible roles. Was there like do you think Hollywood has figured out how to use you, or doesn't quite know how to bring you through, or?
I don't know. I feel lucky that I can work in my country and work here, and I never think about a role in terms of lead or supporting. So I have like some characters that I love and that I loved to be were not the center of the story, but are kind of some centers in my career. So
how do you make the choices? Is it the director and the character and the script? I mean, is it the script first, director first? Does it change with every movie?
I would say it's the story first. Although I could work with the Darden brothers without knowing what the story would be, but the story is very important for me because because it's the entire boat, and I don't want to have a good character on a boat that is sinking.
So that's not an interesting director with a script that's not so great or a story that's not so great, not very interesting to you. You'd rather go do something smaller that does hit you in that way.
Yeah, I need to be part of a story that I'm proud to tell, even if it's a short thing I have to do in this story. But it's like, I mean, I want to read a book from page 1 to the end, and I want it to be interesting. And if it's only a part of the book, then I mean, you know, why read the whole book and why tell the whole story if it's, you know what I mean?
So the Dardennes talked about the fact that you kind of offered yourself up, almost whatever they would want you to do. You were 100% absolutely committed.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want the director I work with to be happy, and I want to help a director to tell the story the way he or she wants to tell it. It's important to fit the vision of someone I admire the work, and so that's why I need to know that we're telling the same story, and that that he or she trusts me and I can trust he.
Well, the Dardennes are very collaborative. From what I gather, they kind of let you into the process of creation.
They know exactly what they want, and they know that what kind of rhythm, because the rhythm is very important in their movies. It's the rhythm of life, of authenticity that they're looking for. And so they're very demanding, and they really know what they want, and at the same time they want you to bring life, and to bring life is not just telling lines, and it's not just breathing, it's thinking about what you do and feeling what you give, in a way.
So did you know this character, or have you met a character that fits this woman?
I had different inspirations to create this character. A friend of mine, someone from my family, and usually that's what I do. I mix people I know to create someone.
And did it take a little while to get comfortable with her as you went through this process with them, or did you click in?
We had 5 weeks of rehearsals before we started shooting, which is an amazing gift and a great luxury. So I had time to create her life before we meet with her in the movie because we don't know much about who she is actually. We know that she's just recovered from a depression, and that this bad news is gonna put her down in a second, but we don't know why she was depressed. We don't know how it affected the people she loves, her family, kids and husband, and I needed to investigate her life to know all this, and investigating her life meant creating it. And that was, I loved doing this. I loved inventing everything I needed to be able to understand and go through the emotional journey that she goes through.
So after 5 weeks, you're ready to go.
I was ready to go after 5 weeks.
And when you're shooting with the Dardennes, are you conscious of even thinking about wanting to look at something like dailies, or the idea that what they're filming or how they're filming it, or anything else? Or are you just in their world at that point?
I cannot watch dailies because it would be, I mean, I want to be this character. I don't want to be interrupted by me looking at me being this character. That would be too disturbing for me. I mean, I know that some actors need to see or the dailies or to watch the scenes on set right after they shot those scenes. This is something that I cannot do because I don't have the ability to go in and out and in and out, and I don't think I would be objective being in my character, or looking at myself being in my character. That would be really disturbing for me.
So this has been true through your career? This is something you found out early about yourself?
I watched dailies twice. First time, it was the next day on set. It was terrible because dailies that I had watched I thought was not good, and so I became self-conscious of everything I was doing. That was a disaster. And the second time I watched dailies, I remember that was a movie. We were a group of friends doing this movie. We were in Prague, and we lived in the same building, and on a Sunday one of the actors had the dailies, and I lived in this big apartment with a big screen, and they wanted to watch dailies, and the scene was me and another actor under a waterfall, trapped in a little cave under the waterfall. And of course no water was falling, and you know, you need to speak like this, very, very loud. And it was horrible. And I went on set the next day, and I kept thinking about this horrible scene that I had seen. I thought it was so bad, and I couldn't, and it took me 3 days to forget about it and go back into my character. It was, it was super counterproductive for me. So no, I really cannot watch anything while I'm shooting.
We talked to a comedian recently, and he said that he once had a conversation with another comedian who was very intellectual, and they talked about comedy for one evening, and very deep conversation for hours and hours, and he says he wasn't funny for another 2 months. He just couldn't be funny again. It just like took him 2 months to recover from thinking about it too much.
Yeah, this is I think that when you give something, you just give it. You don't need to it's not thinking about it, because I need to think about what I'm going to do, but it's, I don't know the word in English actually, maybe it's the same that in French, but when you the word in French is disséquer. You know when you have a frog and you cut it into dissection?
Dissection, yeah.
Dissection. Dissection is you really have to have the need to dissect
yeah.
something. Dissection is pretty ugly, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to need to dissect something, because when you dissect it, you think about it too much. You see things that maybe you shouldn't have seen or something. Who needs to see the guts of the frog?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
So are you conscious of the show business part of it? I mean, are you aware of box office and things like that, or do you just check out? Do you read reviews?
No, I don't read reviews, because again, I don't think I need it. I did it, and I don't need. No, I don't need it anymore, good or bad. Sometimes, when there's like an amazing review, reviews. People, a director or a publicist or an agent want you to read it, and sometimes it's good, but no, I don't. And the box office, I never really know. I know when it's good or when it's really bad, but the right number, I don't know.
So you've had another movie this year that also has kind of gotten this enormous love, even though it didn't get Oscar nominations, was The Immigrant. Is that journey very different? I mean, this film is so naturalistic and so naturalistic, I guess is the only right word. And The Immigrant is a period piece, and it's there's kind of higher tension of drama in some ways. It's a little more aesthetically different, I guess. Is that a different kind of journey for you, or is that a similar piece of work? Is the work of it the same?
Totally different. Totally different. That's what I'm looking for. To go from a project to another, and I want it to be totally different. Well, first of all, because James Gray and the Darden brothers have a totally different way of working, and also because the budget was totally different. We had a very, very low budget for The Immigrant, and so we had less time. I think for the Darden Brothers movie, we had 11 weeks plus the 5 weeks of rehearsals, and when it's like the same town and the same outfit, and when for The Immigrant we had like 8 weeks, something like that, for a period movie. So it's I mean, the dynamic is different because you don't have time, and James didn't have time to do everything that he wanted to do. So you deal with frustrations, and I hate when a director is frustrated.
So you feel his frustrations more than having your own?
He didn't really. I mean, he was. I could see it because I live with the director, and I know.
You know what's going on.
But he was never like, oh my God, I'm depressed and I'm frustrated. He was never like that. His dynamic was super positive, and he wanted to get the best out of the situation. But I could see it.
Do you judge at all the performances? I mean, you come out of these two films, there have been discussions about whether some critics think that you should have been nominated for The Immigrant. Some people think you should have nominated for 2 Days, One Night. Do you have that sense of judgment, or do you do the work and just have the experience and keep going from that?
I mean, I won't compare two things,
Right.
and I won't judge or anything. That I mean, but I will judge my work for sure, and I'm a very, very tough judge.
Are you ever satisfied?
Sometimes not. I was never satisfied like 100% satisfied for, I mean, the whole movie. But sometimes, yeah, sometimes I'm happy with. I'm happy that what I felt is actually the authenticity that I felt is actually visible.
Mm. So you will watch yourself after.
Oh yeah,
the
I
film
need
has
it.
been made.
Yeah, I need to see the result because I need to see if it's really bad. I need to understand why, not to do the same mistake again.
Do you feel like you've given a bad performance in the last 5 years, 10 years?
Oh yeah.
Huh. What is that like? It must be. I mean, because you're.
It's painful.
Mm.
It's really painful.
And it's just when you don't feel that the entire flow of that performance is working. It's not. I assume it's not just like one beat that you didn't like, or two or three things.
Sometimes it's a beat. Sometimes it's. Now that I have, experience. I did some movies. I did were like. I mean, my performance was terrifying. There are some movies I would love to burn everything that exists about this movie.
But I'm guessing these are early movies, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, now I try to save my ass, and sometimes I cannot save it entirely, and voila.
So has parenthood changed your acting?
Maybe. I don't know. It's changed my process because before being a mom, I would start a movie, change my life entirely. I would live for this movie. I would cut everything that was related to my life, my friends who are kind enough to understand this, but I would enter another dimension, and that was okay if I was not entirely myself. I'm not a what we call a method actor, although when I did L'Avion Rose, I knew that I was kind of a weird person when I was not on set, but I was by myself, so that was okay. Mm-hmm. But when some friends would come and see me, they thought I was not the same me. Mm-hmm. But that was okay again. But today I need to be myself for my son because I cannot put him in this situation. Plus, not usually, all the time, I do movies that are not super fun, and my characters are not super healthy or in good shape or mentally super healthy again. Mm-hmm. So I need to protect him from this weird job that I do.
Is it becoming easier? I mean, does it, or not easier? Easy is not the word, but I mean, is investing less in that way turning out not to be a detriment to the work in your mind? Because I've had that conversation with a couple actors in the past.
Well, it was not a problem for me to be in a weird state before being a mom. So, but today it is. So now today it's harder. It's harder because sometimes I have to struggle with a kind of general state that I have for a period of time. Playing Sandra in 2 Days, 1 Night, playing Macbeth was disturbing. And I'm affected by the characters and the story I'm telling when I'm shooting. And I'm affected. I'm aware that I'm affected. In a way, I'm aware of things that are affecting me, and other things that I'm not aware of. And how can I explain this? Like, I won't be aware of it for like few days, and then suddenly it appears, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope my son didn't feel this. And 2 Days, 1 Night, on 2 Days, 1 Night in Macbeth, I had to send my son away for a few days because that was too hard for me to balance my life and this very depressed or horrible people I was sharing my life with.
So how much does I guess again, La Vie en Rose, there's a big ensemble, but it's such a starring part. It's such a, you're practically in every frame of the picture. Does having a scene partner like Fassbender change it for you? Is that a great relief in some ways, or in The Immigrant to have Edward or Jeremy?
I don't know. I mean, a relief playing Lady Macbeth.
There's no relief.
There's no relief. That was. I mean, I'm so lucky that I can be in an amazing project with such amazing actors, for sure. But it's not in terms of relief that I see it. It's in terms of, being lucky to share experiences. Well,
is it fun? I mean, is there a pleasure where you go, man, I want to go up against a heavyweight again soon. I want to, and that's
Yeah. I mean, it's what you share with an amazing actor is this energy of authenticity and this seek for authenticity and this passion of what we do and this commitment and this hard work and I have so much respect for people who do this, again, very weird job that we do and this commitment.
Was there any other part of art that you ever considered besides acting? Was it always that you were going to be an actress for you?
Well, I considered other things, but a lot of things actually, and I thought that the best way to experience a lot of lives would be to be an actor.
And did it click in? I mean, did you always have this attraction to the darkness and to the characters that were so challenging? You just said you had a lot of challenging characters.
Apparently, apparently, this has been a big question in my life lately. Sometimes I'm like, why do you do this to yourself? Why? What do you need to? I don't know. I really need to do comedies. It's a mental health issue.
So forehead titties or whatever that was, however that was pronounced in that, there's a great relief.
So that was perfect. Forehead titties. No, this would be a risk that I really want to take, and I really hope that it would make my life easier to be with, to share a part of my life with a very healthy and funny woman, or it won't. And
well,
then
I think that some of those serious actors have told me over the years that they, Max von Sydow is like, what haven't you done at your 83 or 84, whatever he is? What haven't you done? He's like, I want to do more comedy.
yeah, of course.
Or Viola Davis wants to, she really wanted to do a sitcom. It was like her dream idea.
Yeah. I think, yeah, when you're really committed to your work and you work a lot, well, basically you share your life with those people. And lately I shared my life with someone who lost her legs, and someone who were depressed, or someone who were crazy and killed herself. When I think about it, I think it's totally crazy. Mm. But I love it. Why? I'll know it one day.
And were you pregnant when you did Rest and Bone?
No.
No, okay. Because I read something and they made it sound like you were, but that didn't seem possible.
I was not pregnant, but I was feeding my son. Which is something that is kind of weird too.
Yeah. Well, to have that responsibility for a young life. I mean, your son's only 3 years old, I guess, now? 2 or 3?
Yeah, 3.5.
So it's a lot of to give all that as you give as an actress, and to take care of a child is a lot.
Yeah, well, I haven't worked for a year.
That was smart.
Yeah, that was necessary.
Mm. So you're anxious to get back to work, or you're chomping at the bit?
Yeah, I want to go back to work. Yeah. It's not going to be fun. Unfortunately, not yet.
Because you have to get yourself emotionally ready to be there again, or
no? It's just that my next film is.
Oh, the next film is already hard. Not
it's
light comedy.
Not a comedy yet. No.
So you were at the premiere of 2 Days, 1 Night at Cannes, I assume.
Yeah.
And so at that moment, when that audience is there and that moment is happening, are you nervous about what's about to be shown, or how they're going to respond to it, or any of that, or you already kind of know what's there? And
I love this movie, so, and I'm proud of it. So if the people in Cannes didn't like it, it was.
Do you feel like they didn't like it?
No, if they hadn't.
Oh, they hadn't liked it.
Yeah. Well, it's. I mean, I don't know, because they liked it, so I don't know what it would have been if they hadn't. But I'm not. No, I don't feel nervous.
Can you feel how the audience is feeling when you're watching? Did you watch the movie with the audience?
I did. Yeah. That was my second time.
And can you feel the audience taking the journey?
Yeah.
So
and it's kind of rare to live this. Mm-hmm. Because usually when I see the movies I'm in, I'm alone in a theater. Mm. So Cannes is very interesting. Because you really get to see the movie with. It's not theater, but it's what you share with the audience is very special there, because it's unusual.
It is a uniquely intense experience. So, Oscars are coming up. You have your nomination. Do you feel compelled to win? Is it kind of just a nice experience that's on top of it? You're not in a situation where it's like...
It's an amazing experience. I'm so happy to take this movie there when I really wanted to take it there. I thought it would be I want it to be the foreign language category, and I'm very happy that I'm taking there this way. That was really unexpected, and I'm enjoying it the way it is, and I have no expectations, just to live the present time with, and to live this amazing journey as it is. And
so you just have a good time that night, you think?
Yeah,
It'll just be you'll go and you'll party afterwards, and you'll
Oh,
say hi
yeah.
to friends and.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be in this group of amazing women and amazing roles for women this year, and so yeah, I'm enjoying it.
And do you feel part of this community? Do you feel like you're now part of Hollywood as well as France?
I've always felt welcome in Hollywood, and this is something that I really cherish. I don't know if I feel part of the community of actors, for sure, and I guess anywhere in the world. I like those very weird animals that we are.
You are a unique breed. Yeah, it's always fascinating to talk to people who do it, because it is such an odd job.
It is.
And yet it's so, the power of it is when things are good and something touches people, the ability to touch people has got to be awfully intoxicating and thrilling.
Yes, it is. There was a period, there was a moment of my life when I questioned, why are you doing this? What is the purpose is of this? And someone asked me a few questions, and this guy said, "Do you like to go to movies?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, why?" And I said, "Because I love to feel things and to experience things." And he said, and when you go to see a movie and it makes you think, it makes you have a reflection, it moves you, what do you feel? And then I said, "Well, I feel alive." And he said, "Well, you got your answer. There's a purpose to this weird job."
Well, thank you for doing it, and thank
you
you for
very
stopping
much.
by.
Thank you.